Hi, this is Lori Whitlock, and in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the canvas project that I have at the Silhouette online store and at loriwhitlock.com in SVG format. And just so you're aware, those files will probably not be available today, but maybe probably within the next couple of days. So don't be panicked if you don't see them for a couple of days. After I'm done doing this video, I'll take pictures of them and then upload them all. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to put the bottom canvas together. You'll notice in the file there are two canvases. Pieces look very similar, but the top canvas has holes in both of these longer pieces that will allow you to put ribbon at the top and at the middle and at the bottom of that canvas so that it can attach to the lower canvas, which is right here. And you'll notice that that longer piece doesn't have holes on the bottom, and it does have holes for the top. And I have already threaded some ribbon through those holes, and on the inside I have tied it. And then I've also attached my long strip to a short strip, and then I've attached the short strip to another long strip, and then to another short strip at the end. And that will form your rectangle outer frame of your canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this last little flap together. Okay, my adhesive's all messed up. Hold on here. Okay. There we go. Okay, I am going to big lump. I'm going to start over with that. Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, there we go, that's much better. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and line that up. When you're doing these corners, just make sure you're lining them up really well. Your project's going to turn out so much neater. You can keep things precise along the way. Every time you are off just a little bit, you end up with a mess at the end. Okay, so again, I have my two little ribbons hanging up through those holes, and all of my glue tabs are folded towards the inside. And now I'm ready to go ahead and attach it to the front of my canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my zip dry adhesive glue for this. It's a little bit more forgiving, I've discovered. I'm actually going to put a tiny bit of glue between the areas where they overlap. That'll help add some security in the corners. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay that down and put the glue around the whole glue area. Being careful to get it out towards the edge so you don't have any gaps. Okay, I'm going to work kind of quickly so that glue doesn't dry on me. Okay, I'm going to flip it to the inside and just start working around it very carefully, making sure it's lined up right at the edge. Okay. Okay, now that we have that side of the canvas in place, you can flip it over and kind of double check yourself. You actually need to scoot it all down this way just a tiny bit. Okay. And then you'll need to do the same thing on the back side. So I will go ahead and put some glue on these little corners where they overlap. And I'll go ahead and glue around all the sides. The nice thing about the zip dry glue, if you get a little excess, it rubs off like rubber cement. which is wonderful. Okay, you'll also notice inside the file that there are some scalloped edge and kind of ticket-edged embellishment pieces. Those are completely optional. You do not have to cut those, but they're just to help you decorate the front of your canvas. So you could just adhere that. Scallop, see, I've included a scalloped one, and there's several, some that have holes in them, one that's got a ticket edge. And you can just, it's made to fit perfectly on the front of this canvas. It's kind of hard to see since it's such a light paper, but it's made to fit right on the front of that. And the size of this canvas is 8 inches by 6 inches. Okay, so basically, we are left with creating our top canvas. Now, just so you know, the way this canvas, the top canvas is constructed, you could actually put more canvases together if you'd like to. So if you'd like to do 3 canvases instead of 2, you could easily do that by just adding, cutting out another canvas and assembling it like I'm going to show you. So let me go ahead and start with this one. Let's take our 4 side pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and fold those all one direction. Another thing you could do if you're planning to do a lot of embellishment to these canvases is you could decorate your canvas front before you stick it onto the side pieces. That way you have a little more, you know, you can push things down and glue them into place without having to push on your canvas, which is kind of hollow. But if you cut this out of a pretty heavy paper, they're actually pretty sturdy. And you could Mod Podge on them and embellish them, make them pretty heavy duty if you'd like. Okay. Alright, there's our 4 side rails. Now, we're going to have to work with this attached to the other canvas, because I'm going to need to pull these strings through the side rail and tie them so that all of that is inside when we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and attach all these 4 together before I do that. So I'm going to flip the little glue flaps down on the ends. And I think I'll use my tape on there again. So I'll go ahead and take a long piece and attach it to a short piece. Perfect. And then I'll take another long piece. Okay, so now you have, we'll go ahead and, hope this isn't too hard to tie inside of it. Once we're done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and form my rectangle. And now I'm going to go ahead and tie my ribbon through. So I'm going to put my other canvas in front, and I have just a needle here, kind of a thick needle that I'm using to kind of poke my ribbon through the hole. I actually cut my ribbon about 7 inches long, and I think that's going to be just about right. You might want to, if you want a little extra to work with, you might want to do it a little bit longer. And it depends on how much space you like between your canvases. So inside of this canvas, I tied a pretty short little knot. I wanted to have plenty to work with on this end. So I think that's a little too much space, so I'm actually going to tie my knot a little bit tighter. So 7 inches is probably plenty, and I probably could have been a little more generous with my knot on the other end. that's okay. Okay, so, whoops. That's still a little bit too far for me. So you can just tie these as close or as far away as you'd like, to your liking. Okay. Now on the other side of this canvas, we're going to need to attach some ribbon to hang it from the wall. Hang the entire project. And you can either have a piece of cut ribbon with a cute bow on top, or you could have just a single strand that runs through. I'm probably just going to do a single strand that runs through, but you could have a longer piece and cut it and have a cute bow at the top where you're going to hang it on the wall. Okay, I'm just trying to get these two even. You don't want your canvases hanging crooked. Okay, there we go. So I have two pieces of ribbon between my canvases holding them together. Now I just need to attach the front and the back of this canvas. Right after I put the ribbon on for the handle, like we just talked about, for the hanging. Okay, before I cut my ribbon, I'm going to go ahead and thread one in through and tie it. Okay, so I'm going to thread that through, pull it through long enough to make a nice knot. And then I'm going to pull it back to where it's tight. Then I'm going to decide how long I'd like my ribbon to be so it can hang from the wall. And again, like I said, you could be very generous. Cut your ribbon and tie a pretty big bow up here. And in fact, maybe I will do that because I think it would be cute on this one. So I'm going to just be pretty generous with my ribbon. Okay, so let me measure this just so in case you're wondering. It is about a yard long. So 36 inches of ribbon. Okay, so I'll pull that through and tie my knot. I'm also going to trim these other ribbons that we in the bottom a little bit shorter so they're not in my way as I'm trying to glue things on. Okay, so now we're ready to put the front of our canvas on and the back. And I have this nice ribbon out here and I've just left it long for now. I'll probably tie a bow or something later. Okay, let me get my glue. I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue on these overlapping corners again, just like before. You probably really don't need to watch the rest of this video since you know what to do, but I'll let it continue so we can see the finished project at the end. Now that you have this ribbon attached, it's a little bit trickier. Just not going to be as easy to flip things over and back and forth. But now that you're experienced, you'll probably be a little bit better at putting it on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip everything over so I can push down on that seam in there. There we go. Okay, now we're ready to put the back on. That's my telephone. to call them back in a minute. Okay, and we just need to put this back piece on, or front piece, depending on which you decide to use as your front and back. Okay, so this canvas measures 8 by 6, which is absolutely perfect to put a 5 by 7 photo on, or you can embellish them with cute words and sayings and scrapbook them essentially, and make them as a baby gift, make them as any sort of gift. Father's Day, Mother's Day, make them for seasons. Okay, so there you have 2 canvases attached with ribbon. Isn't that cute? And I'll probably just cut this ribbon and tie a bow. Putting it on an angle. Okay, so my 1 yard of ribbon ended up being just about perfect. Okay, voila! Perfect, cute little canvas project. Okay, I hope you enjoy making this canvas and it comes in handy for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a message here on my video site, or you can contact me through my contact form at loriwhitlock.com, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Have a great day. Thanks.